The lease is up. I have had it! The Fat Controller was staring Marcia and Alan down. The two engines had been racing and caused an accident at Kildane Station. Marcia's passengers groaned as they were helped out of the railed coaches, and Alan's freight was blocking the line. Marcia was sprawled across the through and up line, with her smoke box hanging over the up line. I can't believe you two thought this was a good idea! I don't know what rules the Southern Railway has, but here on Sodor we require safety and professionalism. The two engines just looked at their buffers, ashamed. Then a whistle cut through the air. Scott was coming their way with the Orient Express. The train didn't stop at Kildane, and the signal that should have been red wasn't working. Scott had no reason to stop. As Scott ran under the bridge, he saw a worker waving a red flag. Only then was he able to see the pileup. And what made it worse, he was on the upline. Marcia's smoke box was in his path. Oh no! Oh no! He slammed on his brakes, and the guard tried to stop the train too, but there were too many coaches, Scott was going too fast, and he was too close to the crash site. Marcia screamed, and that was the last thing that came from her lips. Scott slammed into her. He derailed, finally stopping just short of the platform. His driver walked back to the wreck. Passengers were helping each other out of the coaches, but nobody could help Marcia. Her smokebox door was in pieces, and had been ripped from its hinges. Marcia Taylor was dead. All traffic was halted, and Edward and Aaron came up as soon as they could. They were in shock and felt horrified by what they saw. However, the state Marcia was in wasn't the worst. Scott was trembling on the ballast, and even when he was lifted back onto the rails, he hadn't stopped shaking. It took the whole night to clean the mess, and Marcia's body was shunted to the nearby scrapyard. I killed her, Scott whimpered in the shed. Scott, it was an accident, said James. It was her own fault for getting in that position in the first place. It wasn't your fault. Scott just whimpered. He looked out the window. He saw a rusted old boiler next to the tracks. He could swear that he saw Marcia's face glaring at him. I have to go. And with the little steam he had left, Scott transferred over to the nearby goods shed. The next morning, Aaron brought the Fat Controller to see him. Scott was still very shaken up. Scott? The Fat Controller slowly approached him. Sir, Scott began, I have a request. The Fat Controller listened. I request to leave Sodor. Aaron and the Fat Controller's eyes went wide. This was something they never expected from an engine on their fleet. I'm not even one of your engines, sir. My lease will be up for renewal in a bit, so I'll see this is a good time to leave the island. I don't think I can work here knowing what I've done. Clearly, there was no talking Scott out of his debacle. After bidding farewell to his Sodor residence, Scott left the island with the goods train for Derby Works on the mainland. Harrison took over the mixed traffic services, and Albert had to take over Harrison's passenger detail. Aaron watched Scott pass Tidmouth with the trucks clattering behind him. The Fat Controller walked up to the blue engine, holding his hat in his hands. Aaron, I've just got a call from the Southern Railway's head office. He hesitated. They've demanded to have engine number 98462 back. Aaron's heart sank. Sir, surely there must be a way. They can manage with just one engine down. The Fat Controller shook his head. It seems Marcia's accident has more repercussions than I realized. They need you back to fill her slot. Aaron looked ahead towards the main line. I'll leave tomorrow then, sir. The next day, Aaron traveled light from Tidmouth Sheds towards Vickerstown. He'll have to make a stop at Crovan's Gate to pick up his rude brother. When he arrived at Elsbridge, he had to stop for a red signal. Thomas was there with Annie and Clarabelle. Hi, Aaron. What are you doing here? Aaron sighed. I'm leaving. Leaving? Aaron told Thomas about what had happened. Thomas's heart sank. You're not coming back? No, I'm not saying that, said Aaron, trying to comfort him. I might come back eventually, just not anytime soon. Aaron saw the sadness in Thomas's eyes. Thomas, do me a favor. Keep your branch line running well while I'm gone, okay? Thomas took a deep breath. Okay. Aaron's signal dropped, and he was off. Bye, Thomas, he called. Bye, Aaron, replied a downcast Thomas.